Hi, everyone. John Wintringham here. I'd like to introduce you to Gilad Hochman, one of the commissioned composers for ISA's 2023 Young Artist Competition.
Hi, John. Good to be with you.
Let's jump right in. Your work, Closer, for two alto saxophones, is one of the compulsory works this year. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Actually, September 21, it started. I remember you commissioning it shortly before and me starting sitting on it then. And half a year later, I found something which really grabbed my attention. It was basically made me very curious, and it's a special scale. But the scale that I found eventually, I mean, I didn't find it. It was there all along. Since the 19th century, composers used it, and throughout the 20th century, notably Messiaen, but even before. And that's the diminished scale or the symmetric octatonic scale. I started playing with it, and the more I did that, the more I became more curious about the possibilities of what kind of music can be composed using this scale. But yeah, at some point after this long process, I I was playing on my piano, and I reached this moment where I was drawn to a certain field in music. And 8 months later, and a lot of communicating with you and a lot of back and forth, Closer, came to this world.
We, how do we see that kind of portrayed throughout the work? How did this scale surface, and what role does it play in the music?
I mean, this is really the architecture, the fundamental architecture of the whole piece. I think so. All the motifs derives from it, uh, and there is not one note in this work which is not a part of this scale. So Closer has five different sections, each somehow capturing a completely different character, but still based on the same motifs. And there is a gradual evolution of these motifs. Very declaratively, this piece is about exploring this scale and me expressing through it.
Yeah, well, I like when you describe it as an evolution of the scale too, because I really think the treatment and development of that scale system creates a natural narrative to the work, a natural flow, and we might.
I don't need a lot of excuse to write for the saxophone because I'm inspired by the instrument itself, right? And by the attitude many saxophonists that I know of have, in regards to new music. So this wanting to have it, and you especially to appreciate it and wanting to push the boundaries further. So this is one side of that was very motivating for me.
Any kind of general suggestions that you have for saxophonists trying to interpret your work?
If I need to give one suggestion about interpreting Closer is to approach it with the same attitude that I did, which was a very curious attitude to discover what comes, and how all these sections come together and what they create on the large scale. Um, so this I realize an attitude. It's not something that can be really suggested, but curiosity I think is the best gateway into a new music. Eventually, a piece of music, I think that the score is for you to express yourself, right? And your musicality and your ideas. So I think it's best when approached carefully at first, right? But then just letting go completely.
All right, well, thanks so much, Gilad, for joining us. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you, John. I hope some of this was helpful, and I can't wait listening to the competitors.
Absolutely, we're excited as well. Tune in, everybody. Next time, we're going to meet with composer Soon Young Park to break down her solo work, Bluebird Fantasy.